Hello.
Hello, Katie.
Yes, hi Gibbs.
Hi, how are
For
you
some
doing?
reason it wouldn't connect me the first time. My
It's
apologies.
all it's all good. How are you doing?
Good.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You ready to talk about social?
I would love to.
Beautiful. We can dive right in. I know uh had a couple questions about pricing and all of that. We can certainly go through that. Um but first would love to understand a bit more of kind of the organization there and background around really, is there is there a specific event that you that kind of probes you to explore social, or are you using something now? Just kind of a bit of background on the organization and social.
Sure. So I work for Adams 12 High Star Schools, and we're a school district in Colorado that has approximately 50 schools.
Hmm.
The district has three social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And we have a relatively new team, and we're looking at ways to optimize our social media, including a strategy for the first time.
Sure.
We would like more robust analytics, and we would like to engage in social media monitoring and listening.
Yep.
And we're looking for a platform to do all three of those things for our three district level platforms.
Sure. Sure. That's a lot of background. That's great. So yeah, I mean, we work with a lot of education, whether it's a university or high schools or anything like that. Um, so for those 50 schools, are each uh, is it each school has its own social properties with the social media manager, or is it all coming through a small subset of corporate profiles?
No, they all kind of do their own thing.
All do their own thing. Okay. Um,
hmm
so
So that's why right now our focus is just on the district platforms because we don't have the staff to manage all 50 schools.
Gotcha. Okay, so this, whatever platform you guys would move forward with, this would be just to enable those high level district profiles that kind of are the umbrella across all of those 50 schools?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. And so that would be a team of, is it just going to be you that would be managing that, or is there a small team at that district level?
They'll be primarily managed by one person, but
Okay.
we need to have at least three people have access, and they may be managing at different points.
Sure.
Three total people,
Yep.
including the one person that primarily manages.
Awesome. All right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here in a second. But yeah, I mean, we can certainly do really all that you're asking. So we are an end-to-end solution. So analytics, listening and monitoring and engagement, and then obviously putting together a content calendar and scheduling and doing all that. So um, just get things organized here. Alrighty. So um, a couple things. So you're going to have maybe, 1 to 3 people with one kind of principal user.
hmm
Collaboration is a big piece to Sprout. So whether it's, getting a message maybe that one person encounters first, it's a question coming in on Twitter or Facebook, for example, and maybe you want to get it in front of somebody else. That's definitely something that we think a lot about. Um,
Great.
but as I was saying, so the engagement and really doing all right, somebody's asked us a question on Twitter or Facebook. You're going to monitor all of that sort of thing within this smart inbox, this messages section. And you'll see those district profiles here on the right.
hmm
Um, and you'll also be able to filter based off of a brand keyword if you want to monitor any phrases, anything like that. But the whole idea here is you're clicking in and kind of isolating. We call it isolation mode. Different profiles, and then you can further isolate and say, all right, I want to see every single wall post. And then you can respond right from here. Um, but there's a couple things happening here. First, does that make sense? I mean, how we're kind of isolating
Perfect
different
sense.
profiles? Okay, great. Um,
hmm
the other piece, and this will help you guys maintain your sanity as a team in terms of, maybe somebody was the principal user for a 4-day period and they had 7 conversations, right? Those
hmm
are going to be earmarked to say, all right, here are the conversations that happened. You're going to start to see these blue bubbles show up.
Okay.
Well, we can just go up to the top here. But if you click on this, you're going to see, all right, here's that conversation that happened. So that'll help not lose any, not have any gaps in communication between, somebody else is now taking over for the next week or anything like that. regardless of who had that conversation, it's going to be watermarked. Um, you could email a conversation if you needed to. The other collaborative piece here to the engagement section, like I was saying before, being able to route a message to somebody else. Would you guys use something like that? Basically, you're almost it's like they'll receive a push notification if you've set that up, or they'll automatically receive an email to say,
Yeah, that would be great
you
because
know
anything controversial we could,
exactly
elevate to our director.
exactly, and you can even mark them as high priority.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that really makes it. A lot of times people are screenshotting, and you lose track of that very, very quickly,
Mhm.
especially at
Mhm.
scale. So what this will do is you'll be able to monitor the life of any task. You'll be able to go here and say, all right, what messages that I asked to be addressed have been addressed, and all of that. So that's a workflow piece that Sprout spends a lot of time thinking about. So um, that's the engagement piece. Do you have any questions about this?
No. It looks
No.
like what we need.
Okay, great. I think that was a record time on explaining that. Sometimes it can get if people come from like a Hootsuite, for example, where they
Yeah.
have all of these streams, this really confuses people sometimes. They're like, well,
Mhm.
but what we're actually doing here is we're just making it so you're focused on one stream at a time. I mean, being presented 20 streams at the exact same time, it's like the Matrix, It's like
Yeah.
how are you supposed to take all that in? Um, but the other piece are these brand keywords. Do you do any monitoring of that sort, like a hashtag or a phrase?
Not right now, but
Not
we
right
want
now.
to.
Okay, great. So that's how you'll plug those in. Um, you can get pretty granular or um, kind of robust with how you set up these brand keywords in the sense that you can say, all right, I only want to know people with a certain follower count that are saying this, or you can geo target these results. So if you wanted to
Oh,
monitor
that's cool.
an exact phrase that was more of like plain text, you could type that in as long as it's in double quotes, and then you could geo target it to Colorado. Um,
So theoretically, we could geo-target it to a specific zip code in which
yes.
there's a school, like if we wanted to focus on a
Yep.
particular school.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. So we're in Chicago. So when I typed it in, that's my zip code. So yeah, I mean, it can get very, very granular. Just know that the more granular you get, the amount of messages are going to decline. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, you can absolutely set up um, those brand keywords. And if you did ever, roll this out across maybe a certain subset of those individual schools, you could set up a group just for a school. And the
Oh,
grouping
great.
piece is another level here that helps with scalability of the platform. So if you, by default, when you set up an account, when you set up a trial of Sprout, all of your profiles, all of your users are going to be grouped into one folder. But what you can do is, and in the case of, so right now you just have your district group, right? But if you set,
Mhm.
school number one, right, you could attach those profiles, and if there was a social manager at that school, you could invite them just to that group. And so all they're seeing is that group. And so when they log in, they're only seeing what they're responsible for. It really helps maintain structure to the platform, even as I mean, we have customers that have 2,500 social profiles attached, but as long as everything's grouped, everybody knows what they're doing, and everybody stays focused. So
I'm sorry. Can you hold on just 1 second?
no problem, Katie.
Thank you. am back.
You're back. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sorry about that. It made me log. They made me log all the way back in through GoToMeeting.
It's all good. It's all good. No problem. So that's the engagement piece. I think we've kind of covered the bulk of this.
Hmm.
But I mean, is rolling this out to a select number of schools, is that something in the roadmap, or is it really just right now focused on the district?
Right now, it's really focused on the district, but
Sure.
and we're just starting to kind of institute some best practices. So
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, we would never be from the district level be managing the school's social media platforms, I
Right.
would assume. But if there was a cost-effective way that we could all be on the same management
Right.
platform, I mean, that would be
Yes.
ideal. It just
Yeah.
totally depends on cost, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's something, I mean, we can be month to month, so
Hmm.
um, you can really scale up. There's a lot of flexibility with the payment, so you can essentially never be paying for more users than you need. So,
Right.
anyways, but that's certainly down the road. Publishing, uh, there is the ability to invite somebody to the platform. I'll just show you that, for example, needs approval. Like they can contribute content, but it needs to be
Hmm.
approved by somebody else. I don't know if you guys would use that or not. That is a new feature within our team and enterprise plans.
Um, Not yet, but it's good
Not
to know
yet?
that you have.
Cool. No problem. So, with that being said, everybody would be able to log in and say, all right, I want to contribute some content to Twitter and Facebook, and I want to schedule that message, schedule that content for a certain day or time next week. So, anyways, you'll be able to do all of that from here. You'll also be able to just add content to a queue, and the queue is really for non-time sensitive content. So, like an
Hmm.
article or a photo or something like that. And we have a viral
Hmm.
post feature which takes a look at your audience and says, all right, here are those peak engagement times for your business, your audience. So
Hmm.
um, that definitely helps with engagement and the amount of people that end up responding and things like that. So um,
So you just put things in the queue, like you can schedule for specific dates, but you can put things in a queue, and then your um, your script
yep,
tells it when to post automatically.
exactly. You can do it that way, or you can manually set it up, and then it's kind of
Okay.
set moving forward.
Okay.
Um, and you can set up what those send times are for the queue, but it's totally up to you. It's all managed through the Sprout queue settings here. And so you'll be able to go in here and say, all right, edit times. Right now I have viral post set up, but if I want to do manual, I would just switch to that. And then if I wanted 5 items to go out a day. So yeah, it's just, you just think about, ask yourself the question, is this time sensitive or not? And that'll dictate which of those tools you use, whether it's the schedule or the queue.
Okay. Great.
Um, the reports. So um, couple things. You can run these as frequently as you like. Let me get into a group. You can export these reports. So a lot of times people very quickly establish a workflow around, uh, every Friday or every other Friday we export our Facebook and Twitter report, and then send it along as a PDF on an email. So they look very similar when you export them. You will automatically
Mhm.
receive a digest each week that says, 7-day digest, here's how things are going. But it is more of a 10,000-foot view of growth on Twitter, growth on Facebook, those types of high level metrics, and then with deep links to these different reports. But as I go
Cool.
into some of these, like the engagement report, for example, this is looking at response rate and response time. So when people are asking you questions on social, how long is it taking you to respond? Um, we have a team report, so this will show activity on the platform, adoption of the platform. As you did start to use tasks, who's resolving those tasks most frequently or most rapidly?
Hmm.
Um, but are some of these reports jumping out at you? Would you like me to dive into some of these?
Um, Nothing in particular. I mean, I think that's what we need.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, we do have a trial. I don't know if you guys have an appetite for that or not. It is a full featured trial, so I could kind of recommend a plan, and then you could set up that trial. It's very simple. You just attach a couple profiles, but it's 30 days. It's free, and you guys could see, all right, how do our reports look when our profiles are attached. use our scheduling tool, monitor, do the whole thing, kind of test drive it for 30 days. Or we can do a larger team presentation, whatever you think is best. But there are certainly a couple options for kind of next steps.
I think right now, I don't think we want to go the demo or the free trial route, but
Sure.
who knows, we might. But
Cool.
price is a huge factor for us.
Sure.
So if you could make some
Yes,
recommendations
absolutely.
for which plan and what the pricing structures are, I
Yeah,
think that would be great.
absolutely. So, um, primarily it's really driven by users, so licenses, people accessing
Okay.
the platform. So when you say 3 people, you're kind of looking at, I would say you're in between, uh you're kind of in between deluxe, premium. I mean, the team plan has some of those advanced features, like, um like advanced permissions, so the contributing content and needing approval, that sort of thing. However, it doesn't sound like you need that, so you're kind of in between
No.
deluxe and premium. I don't think that you're going to be hitting any of our bandwidth around profiles, so like the number of Facebook pages and Twitter accounts and things like that. Um, so basically you're kind of sitting between kind of 100 and 200 and $300 a month for 3 users. um, I would say either the premium plan is our most popular because it's really not a whole lot more. It just jumps up to $99 a user, and you get all of our reports. Um,
Okay.
so is this making sense? I mean, is this have you guys set aside a budget for this sort of thing?
Not yet,
Not yet. Just
but
kind
we
of
will
in.
be.
Sure, sure. So if you needed to write down a number, I would say you're kind of between $200 and $300 a month for 3 users to have access.
Well,
Um,
can you this plan details matrix? Can
sure.
you send me either a link to it or a document with all that information in, so that
Absolutely.
way I can have that when I present?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I can send you it's pretty much this exact sheet here. But like I
Great.
said, the key difference is our reporting between the deluxe and premium. I don't think that the profile limit is going to make a big difference to you. Um, but yeah, I mean, the viral post also is a feature that you get. You'll be able to do the Google Analytics report within the premium. So if I had to make a recommendation, I think the premium is going to make most sense.
Okay.
But I will absolutely send you this document so you can have that. I'll also be a resource for you should you'd like to loop me into a conversation with any additional stakeholders. I'm happy to do that as well. Do
Great.
you have any other questions, Katie?
I think that's it. Just the pricing structure. So when you get a
Yeah.
chance to send those, that would be super.
Awesome, Katie. I will do that. Is there a timeline on when you guys would like to have something in place?
Well, we're working on establishing our strategy now, so we're hoping to have something by the beginning of the year.
Cool, cool. All right, Katie. Well, absolutely. That's the platform. I'll send through the
Great.
pricing, and then you just let me know if you need anything else. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem, Katie. Have a good one.
You too. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.